What's the word of the day? Accountability, Jets fans. Well, hello, everybody. Here we sit on a Jetsless Sunday. It's a little bit more of a regular occurrence than we're used to as Jets fans. We're used to some 1 o'clock tucked in the corner, the dark corner of the NFL scenarios. That's what we're used to. But here we are. We have another Monday night game. This week, we had a Thursday night recently. We had a Monday night to open the season. We get all kinds of fun stuff now. But so we get to sit through a Sunday without the Jets. And that allows us to settle down, have a stress-free weekend of sorts, watch some other games, and ponder things. So as we ponder where the Jets are, a big week. We moved on, I should say, from our head coach. The changes to the offensive staff, the hierarchy and the offensive brain trust. Lots going on with the Jets. So we get to kind of consider this stuff. Hey, is this good? Wait a minute. What happened? We're having our feelings one way or the other. Does what we're doing change anything? Does it move the needle? Well, let's talk about that a little bit. Right before we do, I want to remind you about the great BetUS offering GreenBean Jets fan viewers an incredible deal. All you have to do is go to betus.com and use the promo code YouTube150. And they will give you a 150% bonus on your first deposit up to $2,000. Incredible. I'll tell you, tomorrow for the game, Monday Night Football, I'll be placing my wagers in front of you live, and we'll see how they go for the live reaction and watch party. So far, I'm proving I'm not so good at this, but I feel good. I'm going to turn it around. BetUS, YouTube 150. Get in on the action. Everything you need for all sports, not just football. It's all right there for you. Get the 150% bonus on your first deposit up to $2,000. Thank you to BetUS for sponsoring this video. Now, guys, we're hearing something. We heard it really all season. Now, we've been complaining about it for a while now, even into previous seasons. The lack of discipline, accountability is the word that's coming up. But we've seen it. Robert Saleh, our former head coach, has even been asked straight up, what's up with holding people accountable, discipline, repercussions, and disciplinary actions, all that kind of thing. And he says straight up, I don't believe in that. They're grown men. They're grown men. They don't need to be yelled at. They know they did something wrong. Like if they jump off sides twice, they know they jumped off sides twice. Why do I got to beat it into their head that they jumped off sides twice? So I can understand that. I do. And the focus on how to not do that again, right? To fix it, he would say. He says, I don't believe in push-ups. Well, I get it. You have that kind of environment that fosters, uplifting and positive support and building, and that's great. But you can't be beholden to that only. So the Jets gave it a shot, right? They gave it 3.25 years of Robert Saleh and his lack of accountability approach. Now, I don't think that the results are entirely negative. I think we've seen a lot of, upticks, particularly on the defensive side. We've seen some really great development with mid to late round picks or scrap heap waiver wire pickups, Quincy Williams, John Franklin Myers, Brandon Echols, Michael Carter II, Jamien Sherwood. They all come to mind, right? These are guys that were mid to late rounds or just found on the waiver wire that Robert Saleh's staff was able to do a whole lot with, right? So a lot of positive impact with their development. So it's not devoid of success. But when you have these problems, you can't say, I don't believe in another way of doing things that might just work. So I think the overall change, it might not be philosophical. Jeff Ulbrich and Saleh are very much in the same wheelhouse as far as their philosophy on game planning, the way that they run the defense. Ulbrich is on record as saying, listen, this is Robert Saleh's defense. I'm running it. calling it, but it's Saleh's defense. So they're of the same mold. They're both linebacker coaches. They came through the same tree and all that jazz. So there's not a lot that's going to change there. But where the impact can happen, and you're hearing it everywhere. You heard Robert Saleh, his comment about the cadence caused Aaron Rodgers to say, hey, why don't you hold somebody accountable? That's another way of thinking about this. Then we've heard Quincy Williams. You've heard this. Nobody's held accountable. We need accountability. Now this week, we've heard numerous players come out and just throw that word into an interview. We heard C.J. Mosley. We heard Aaron Rodgers. We've heard numerous people. And now Will McDonald was interviewed this past week on Talk Sport, a YouTube channel here. What is it? Talk Sport End Zone. Had an interview with Will McDonald. And listen to this. Listen to Will McDonald. It's just thrown into these conversations now as part of their vernacular, which means it is being driven into their head. Hold each other accountable. Hold each other accountable. Hold each other accountable. Hold yourselves accountable. Accountability. That's what's going on in the Jets organization. No free rides.
Everybody's holding everybody accountable. And in fact, like just hanging out, me, I'm always hanging with the D-line. Everybody just coming together, just getting that chemistry and just make sure that we execute.
So you think about that. I usually hang out with the D-line. Now remember, when Aaron Rodgers came here, one of the things that he did was he would sit with other groups. He encouraged people to sit outside of their position group. Hang out, get to know the entire team. Why? That causes a situation where there isn't that offense versus defense. If we do something great and they blow it, now we are mad at them. It creates an us and them, where the team thing is a much healthier approach. If everybody's on the same team, we're not in factions. The old saying, a house divided against itself cannot stand. And that's been the Jets forever. We've had defensive, offensive coaches and head coaches and all that. We're always in these these compartments. Remember, Jamal Adams came out and said Adam Gase never addressed the team. He would leave it to somebody else. He only stayed with his little bubble. And he's the head coach. So we've been dealing with this for a long, long time. So the idea of Will McDonald hanging out with other position groups, Aaron Rodgers encouraging that to happen, if this is now being reintroduced, like, hey, we've all factioned off again, we're grumbly, we're all muttering about the offensive quarterback, we are on the Lazard dropping everybody, like those kinds of things. We need to be talking. Everybody needs to be hanging out one solid unit. And not for nothing, somebody on the other side of the ball should be able to have a conversation with somebody. And not to say it would always apply, but if it does, they should be able to actually be constructive with one another. Tell them what they're seeing on the defense, whatever it might be. They should be able to do that kind of stuff. It's only going to improve the unity, health, and accountability of the squad. I love it. I'm glad to hear Will McDonald's now involved. That shows me, man, it's all over the place. That is the message this week. That's what we're bringing into Monday Night Football. I couldn't be more excited about it. It's the thing that I feel is going to have the most impact. Football is football. How we approach it is where the difference is made. Let me know what you think. Is it having the same impact on you? I don't know. Maybe you don't give two shits. I just want to see the guy catch the damn ball. Whatever it might be, let me know in the comments. With that all said, enjoy your Sunday, your Jetsless Sunday. Let's go into Monday night as positive as we can. Have a great day, everybody. And as always, go Jets.